Magandang araw po sa inyo. Welcome po sa isa na naming episode ng online series ni Inang Pagkatuto ay Walang Hangganan. Ito ang PNU Talks. Ako nga pala si Indra. Ako ang inyong learning from home buddy sa episode na ito. I am alumni of AsTEN Staff Batch 2017 at Philippine Normal University. Before we start, i-comment ang inyong mga katanungan at mga kuro-kuro tungkol sa ating episode ngayong araw. Huwag kalimutang i-like at i-share ang episode natin.
First thing first, disclaimer that now I'm not a teacher. My education background is a business education and now I am managing an Indonesian Ministry of Communication and Information program called National Movement of 100 Digital Startups in West Java. My activities is creating events and meet with startups ecosystem builders among West Java region from university, private sectors, communities, and other stakeholders to build an ecosystem to easier Indonesian people learn how to build a startup. As you can see in the picture, there is our president, Mr. Jokowi, and Mark Zuckerberg. They are in Silicon Valley on a meeting, and Mr. Jokowi willing to have a same movement in Indonesia. So they create the movement, the national movement of 100 digital startup in Indonesia. As a community builder, the topic experience of student-teacher mobility in ASEAN is still relevant to me. Why? Because first, I have to meet a lot of people with different backgrounds. And second, as a former economic teacher, it makes me easier to understand how community are willing to learn new things, especially about building digital startups to solve people's problem and earn money. And this topic also relevant to you because first, it will also you will also meet a lot of people with different backgrounds. Whatever you choose to be in the future, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a manager, you will meet a lot of people, and you have to make sure that the differences of the backgrounds among people will not be a problem to us. And the second, it will also easier to understand how students are willing to learn new things. So how it began? At the first place, in 2006, when I was in elementary, I want to know people around the world because I like to watch movie and see and watch a lot of people from many backgrounds outside Indonesia, and I really want to speak with them. So I was committed uh, to learn about English so I can speak with foreigner. And then 2008, I read a book entitled Laskar Pelangi. If you come to Indonesia, you will know this book is very famous among us at that time. The book is about a village boy that don't have money, but they have a big chance to go outside the country. So they got the exchange program to Europe and learn there in French. It make me feel like I can see another world outside my country. So at that time, having a change to an exchange program is really hard. At that time, the exchange program is not as much as today, so uh, it it is very inspiring many of many of Indonesian people that time. After that, when I was in senior high school, I joined with debate English debate team and learning English from that. So when I have a job after that, my company sent me to Singapore to learn about soldering because I was in industrial computer and programming department. So the company sent us, and then I learned many things in Singapore for almost 1 week. After the next year after, um, I and my friend trying to backpacking to Malaysia and Singapore by ourselves, and it makes us more familiar with the country. So it give us extra confidence when we have the chance to go outside the country again. When I continued my education to Indonesia University of Education, um, because I still have the active passport, so I am trying to have some activities related to international activities, international student volunteer. Yeah, in UP, I joined with the international student volunteer of OYER UP, and that's that is the first time that I got the chance to go to an exchange program in Philippines. Then all those experiences bring me to the Bandung Sister Cities Youth Forum. It is a youth forum that in the city that give us a chance uh, to be a representative of Bandung City to another country and when the delegates come to the city, and it's also become one of my portfolio why I could be one of Indonesian startup representative in Bandung City, especially in West Java. The student exchange program that I got is come from ASEAN Teacher Education Network or AsTEN. The AsTEN Teacher Education Network is a network of premier teacher education institutions of the countries in the ASEAN. Its goal is to address issues, challenges, and concerns relevant to teacher education programs, practices, and policies in the ASEAN region. It also serves as a vehicle for collaboration in both academic and research endeavors within and across member institutions that will ultimately benefit the Asian nations and people. And so me, I got the benefit from ASTEN. I have the chance to practice teaching in Philippine Normal University. So it it was the beginning of my let's say adventure. So somehow all of the timeline that I have told to you show us that there are so many ways to get a chance to have an action program. The first one is volunteering. Why volunteering is important? Volunteering will give us a lot of experiences facing with new people in so many projects. I uh, I usually join with so many volunteering program when I was in college. So it's open the opportunity of getting many things or information about exchange program. I was joined with uh, entrepreneurship program, inclusive program, and the most relevant one is joining the international student volunteer program. I also have met the former speakers Kim and Christian. I also met many students from another country, from Japan, from Australia, and any continent outside Indonesia or ASEAN.
I have a video here. This video is about promoting ASEAN when I was in 11 senior high school. This is about 2011 maybe, and let's see the video. We create this video by ourselves with some friends. This is me. The different
Hello
ways.
ASEAN, ASEAN Fair 2011. Siapa sih yang nggak tahu acara ini? Semua orang gaul pasti tahu dong.
Art, Cultural, and Creative Fest.
Jakarta dan Bali, Indonesia. 24 Oktober sampai 23 November.
Tunjukkan identitasmu.
Halo gue. Hello ASEAN. This time,
10 countries,
100 cultures.
1000 ideas and creativities.
One place. Don't miss it. Hello ASEAN. Suara bersama, gaung mendunia, wujud solidaritas negara-negara ASEAN. Up. Mau ke ASEAN dong. Ayo tunggu.
Well, so you can see that from high school, I like to do many things that is have a relation to Asian. So I think that this is the the motivation that I already have from high school, and then I meet new peoples, I meet new organization, new volunteers member, another volunteers member, and join with them. So these activities are making me to be more open to uh, people around the world. So this is also make a good change to me to open a wider world like I've been done before. So I suggest to you to be more active in student activities, especially international student activities. So we can open a lot of opportunities to have a change to learn about.
So, how it's going in Philippines? Let's see. The first thing that will be experienced with so many people that is firstly come to another country, it must be a culture shock. What is culture shock? Culture shock is an experience a person may have when one moves to a cultural environment which is different from one's own. It is also the personal disorientation a person may feel when experiencing an unfamiliar way of life due to immigration or a visit to a new country, a move between social environments, or simply transition to another type of life. One of the most common causes of culture shocks involve individuals in a foreign environment, and I think that is what happened to me when I come first to Philippines. The first thing that I was there only both of us, me and Nadia, and I don't have any friends out there. But of course, thank you for info because send me at the first time Mel Frankie and Jerome David Tan. They both of them are very helpful to me. Thank you guys. The second is I was surprised when see the security of SM in Philippines bringing a long gun. Is a little bit tricky for me, but I was never see that in Indonesia. So, but I do believe that this country is very safe for us. So and bodies and our bodies are telling us it's not. Uh, they always be with us, so we feel safe here. And the third, of course, being inside a jeepney. Yeah. We have also angkot in Indonesia, but it's shorter than a jeepney, and we usually pay the money after we arrive at the destination. But in jeepney, that is the first time for me. In Indonesia, we say kiri to stop at our destination. In jeepney, we say parapo. It's kind of fun, and we estafette the money to another passenger. It it was so fun. Forget the shocks. I am more shocking when knowing the street foods. They are very delicious and sweet. I like them. I like tofu. I like paella. I like turon. I like halo halo. Oh, it's all the street foods that I can't found in Indonesia. I really miss them. Well, when we are talking about teaching environment in Philippines, it is also a new experience for me. In Indonesia, of course, we use Bahasa Indonesia, but in Philippines, we use Taglish. I also trying to learn Taglish. Sometime I'll also add it inside my learning activity in the classroom. So it was fun. I saw the students here. They are very smart. Yeah, especially here in Institute of Teaching. and learning, ITL. They are very smart, and I was so fun learning and teaching with them. I got a new insight every day, especially about constructive education. That is the most useful theory that I always trying to applicate it inside the classroom, and they are very I mean impulsive to them, to the method. So I always happy when teaching them. Oh, and also the traditional appearance. I saw a lot of unique parents, unique seats from islands in Philippines, and some of them have a similarity with the Indonesian islands traditional seats. It is interesting, and as we have a same ancestor, I think uh, it is uh, it is good. It is we have so many similarity in the culture. I also join with many of student activities in Philippine Normal University. I join with the seminars, with the uh, ITL, ITL, what is that? Science saya, and the dormitory day. It was so fun. I got a lot of foods there, a lot of new friends also. A lot of new friends and games. I mean, uh, I got this is very fun for me. I like to know new people, the people in social science, in the practice teaching teachers, in the dormitory, in Baguio, in another department. They are very friendly, and I like them. We have the same jokes. We have the same sense of humor. So really miss you guys.
One thing that I will never forget from Philippines is about the Christmas vibes. Yeah, the Christmas vibes in Philippines is very different like in Indonesia, because yeah, we know that Indonesia is the biggest population of Muslim in the world. So uh, the uh, the the vibe of Christmas is not really big in Indonesia, not really awesome in Indonesia, but in Philippines we can have vibes of Christmas from November to December, and before we come back to Indonesia, I got some Christmas present from my lecture, from my Professor Mabunga. I have this hat. Yeah, I like this hat. I usually use this if I'm going to holiday. So when I go to Bali, when I go to Batam, or anywhere in Indonesia or in the world, I will always bring this hat, because this is become my favorite, yeah, with the Philippine logo in the top. Very good.
Reflection. Whatever your plan in the future, learning abroad will give you advantage. Here are mine. First, professional development. Second, navigating skill. And the third is tolerance. When you study abroad, you will have a professional development, especially if you are going to have some specific study about your department or about your major. Mine, I got a lot of insight from my professor Mabunga, and my friends from teaching student teachers about economy in developing country. I also got a lot of insight about entrepreneurship in Philippines. I see the differences between the phenomenon in Philippines and Indonesia. They are very different. So knowing these differences become a basic fundamental for me to develop a startup in the future that the things happen in one country will not be the same in another country. By learning about, we will also have a good skill in navigating. It make us to be more familiar in new places and make us feeling safe. Everything that will happen in the future, even if we don't know what will become, we are used to navigate uh, where am I, where is the things that we need, where or go to where we have to do and anything like that. So we will be more adapting to new places or new condition in the future in this agile pace of world, a very fast world, so we can survive in the future. And the last but not least is tolerance. With learning abroad, we are also learning about different culture, about different religion, about different beliefs, and then we can be more understand to other people's thinking, to other people's behavior because of their values or their background. So we will not be a very close person uh, that will not have a good attitude to new people around us. So is all of that really useful for me as a new person now, as a community builder now, not as a teacher, or maybe for you as the next teacher or as the next manager of another profession in the future? This is some cases of the implementation that I have been done along my job. The constructive education for vocational student practice in startup company. I implemented the constructive education that I learned from the ITL teachers in Philippine Normal University and my professor. Uh, I I use it as a method to bring student practice from vocational high school uh, to make them more productive and more disciplined in their job, and they will also be more confident in creating new value to this company, because in a startup company we need their initiative and their creative and innovative thinking to be the basic solution to every activities in our company. It is also easier for me to manage them to and giving a new theory or new skill for them. For example, in this picture, I am showing them and teach them how to uh, make an agile development thinking in startup using Trello application. They are still 17, and because of this method, they feel very confident with their innovation and their thinking, so they are more open to speak to us as our as their supervisor, and the company get more from them. In the end, my company get more than 5 awards in a year. There are top 34 national of 100 startups in Indonesia in Gerakan Nasional 1000 Startup 2020. We also top 5 in Cimahi City for Cimahi Technopark Startups. We also the winner of Indonesia Founders Live in Bandung City. We also the winner of TechStart Startup Weekend Indonesia Online Open, and we are also a nomination of the low customer validation. The most important thing is how we live all the opportunities we have and will take, not just sit back and watch them, because nothing is worth in this world.
So that's all from me. Samuli ako si Indra at sumainyo ang TNU Talks. Goodbye. See you later.